Welcome back. Today we're looking at the top 3 things I wish I knew when I bought my first gun. Today we're looking at the top 3 things I wish I knew before I bought my first gun. Number 5 is definitely a kind of a softball. I understand that. But I was actually blown away at the cost of ammo. I knew that going in I'd be buying some ammo, but because of the reliability issues with the guns that I chose, I spent so much money on ammunition. It's actually insane. I'm pretty involved in my new hobby, so I haven't really given myself a break in a while, easily spending hundreds of dollars every time I go out to shoot videos. And I'm not complaining about spending money on you guys. I enjoy making these videos. And however, ammo, and especially self-defense ammo to test your carry gun, is super expensive, and hopefully those prices go down soon. But ammo was number 5 for sure. Super expensive, crazy expensive. Number 4, your FFL that you choose matters, especially if you buy online. I chose the distance as a factor when choosing my FFL because I wanted something close by. So if you're in the Denver area, don't just choose the closest. Not only was it a nondescript hole-in-the-wall place, but and I'm not going to name names, I should, but the people were not friendly in the least. And they chose to enforce what they said was a 4-day waiting period for me to get my background check. And I arrived expecting to take my firearms home that day, and I was super disappointed. I'm a pretty patient guy, so I just told him no sweat. And being new at that point, I really didn't know, so it wasn't that big of a deal. I'm like, yeah, okay, no problem. I just didn't know, and I figured it was normal to wait that long. But now I know, and quality FFLs in my area and even pawn shops can have you in and out in 20 minutes if you make your decision quickly. So obviously I'll never go back to that place, but so look up the company first and see if they have a nice storefront and a shooting range or something like that. And most of the places will be quick about your background check and stuff like that. So researching your FFL ties directly into a quick caveat here. And I really did think I did a good amount of research when I bought my first gun, but looking back, I was really researching things like the lightest handguns and the smallest handguns and 380 ACP versus 9mm, and mainly just looking for at models of guns and some light reviews. I did look at some reviews, but I didn't delve into any YouTube rabbit holes about people complaining about certain models. Car. If I had looked up the reliability, etc., I would have found tons of videos, and it may have steered me away from certain models. So when you think you've done enough research, take your main choice, go to YouTube and look it up, and this is going to help you make even more educated decisions. I must say also that it looks like some large YouTubers take money for good reviews, and so try and find a small channel that reviews the firearm that you like. That way you're more likely to receive less bias. Okay, number 3. Number 3 might be a bit controversial, but basically the gun community on the internet gatekeep like crazy. And if you come into this hobby thinking that you're somewhat wholesome, that people are going to be somewhat wholesome, think again. And I know the majority of folks will be cool and accept you and even give you some solid advice in your YouTube channels, but on some places on the internet, again, I'm not going to name names, there is a vein of shitheads and trolls that are relentless, so be ready for that, 100%. And they're going to say things like this. Man, I had nothing but problems when I first took up my Glock 43X. Sounds like your limp wristing. Hey man, I was telling you, I got that new gun. I got a FN 509 MRD, the compact version. Wow, you have terrible taste. Okay. Number 2 thing I wish I knew when I bought my first gun was that getting your concealed carry is one thing, carrying a gun, even a small gun, is extremely uncomfortable. And in my opinion, especially if you're not skinny and as a rail like some of you folks out there, if you carry a little more around the middle like I do not expect to be able to appendix carry. That is something that I wish I knew. I know that there are big guys on the internet that swear it can be done, and even some trainers showing it being done, and being done very well, I might add. But those people either have a different body type than I do, or they are on the other side of the gap, the huge gap between what level of discomfort some people are willing to put up with. Some of these internet guys are literally tucking their fat rolls into their belt and claiming not only that it's comfortable, but that they carry a full-size gun that way all day. And I call bullshit on that. I have skinny legs and a big belly, and I've even tried specialty holsters designed for appendix, and I'll visit that in another video, as well as review some of the holsters that I've chose. But yeah, I wish I knew how much discomfort some of you guys put up with when you carry your guns around all day. And that's true. I've tried a lot of different things. And the number one thing that I wish I knew when I bought my first gun, and definitely the most vital, is a trauma kit. I only recently stumbled across a video on Iraq Veteran 8888's channel, and I believe he hosted a YouTuber called Skinny Medic, and they talked about building a trauma kit. And really shout out to Iraq Veteran 8888 for making that video, and Skinny Medic as well, because of them, I went out and researched trauma kits, and I even chose to purchase a pre-built trauma kit directly from Skinny Medic on his website, medicalgearoutfitters.com. Let me tell you why this is important. In my ignorance, and it's embarrassing to admit this, but in the interest of making videos, I drove all the way out to the Pawnee National Grasslands to shoot some guns and make some videos. I was in the middle of nowhere, alone, with no cell service, and while I'm proficient enough with firearms to not shoot myself, accidents happen. And even the best, asked Lenny McGill. Listen, if I shot myself out there in my thigh or something, I would have most certainly bled out and died right there on the spot. I was about a mile from my car. So the top thing that I recommend that you do when you get your first gun is to buy a trauma kit with a tourniquet and some gauze and some shears and a chest seal, and more to come on that, the contents of the IFAK that I purchased, but get one of those, and it could save yours or someone you love's life. And that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching. Definitely like and subscribe if you support what I'm doing. Check out my Patreon. The link is in the description below. I'm going to link to Medical Gear Outfitters and Iraq Veteran 8888's channel down below in the description. I appreciate you guys checking it out. Thanks very much. Thanks for watching the Tactical Hippie.